Welcome back to the county seat. We've been talking about potash and the potential to develop it in Millard County. Been looking at some of the challenges, the obstacles, and the advantages of the of bringing this kind of industry to Millard County. Can we convert the impact of the project that you foresee over its lifespan or over a decade of how much it's going to bring to the local economies out there? Anybody any projections on that?
Yes, we actually have in the early work, the scoping study and stuff. We think, based on some of that preliminary work, that there could be as many as 250 to 300 long-term jobs for the project. We believe that based on some of the historical operating potash projects in Utah that have had multiple decade mine lives, that our project has that potential, subject to the feasibility work we're currently conducting. These should be very fair-paying jobs for the area, and similar to what projects of that size and scope would support. The project, if it gets to the magnitudes, would be a multiple $100 million capital investment going in, and then would generate hundreds of millions of dollars a year for hopefully decades, again, if we get a green light via the work we're doing right now.
So, Bart, you know, if somebody else will listen, and they'll hear 300 jobs, and they'll hear the nightly news about, you know, the economy lost 80,000 jobs last week, and so they'll go, well, that doesn't sound like very much. But from a county standpoint, is that a big deal for you guys?
For us to bring 200 new jobs into our community, we're a population between 12 and 13,000, and to impact our community with 250 to 300 new jobs would be a huge benefit, and we look forward to it. The jobs we've been mentioned are good paying jobs. We are working right now with Snow College and through our economic development folks to help them school people and get them spun up, so when this project is up and going, we will have people standing in line that are qualified to have a good background, good education, and a good sound standing on what the job is going to entail. And so through Linda Gilmore, our economic development person, and the other programs we have working, we're ready for this. So we're, bring it on. Let's get to work at it.
Lance, when you have a county that comes to the table like that, does that make it more appealing to you to try to develop a project when they say, okay, you start this thing and we'll have trained people ready for you at the end of the pipeline?
Tremendous attitude and support. That is really unique, and we were very excited when we first introduced the project and the idea to the community, and then people like the commissioner and the other commissioners have just wrapped themselves around the concept. And certainly on the flip side, we're really excited about the idea of creating quality jobs, providing tax base and revenues for, again, our project gets the green light for decades, hopefully, and making a real difference in the community. I come from a background where my father and his family grew up in Carbon County, Utah, and we watched the jobs disappear right before their very eyes, and so he left young in his life because the jobs disappeared then. And so, for us, it's a really unique opportunity for us to be part of it.
What are the steps to actually go out and acquire these ponds, which are on public land, and build more and run your canals and start pumping the water out from the subsurface water to have it evaporate? What does it take to put that in place?
The first step, Chad, was just the process of determining the best use of the land from the standpoint of the environment as it related to the BLM and the state of Utah. Those are the two landowners at this point in time. The process was then an environmental assessment determination based on what we believed there was an opportunity to do with the land extracting potash. Then there was an auction of those lands. Those lands were auctioned off. We were fortunately the winner of that auction process, but it required almost 3 years of time and effort to get it to the point where it just had the chance to get to auction. And then from there, it's another several-year process just to bring it to production.
That'd be kind of a bummer if you do all the advance work to try to go through the feasibility study, then it goes up to auction, and somebody comes in and outbids you. What would you have done?
Wow. I can tell you what my wife would have done. She thought I was crazy to start with when I told her potash in, Sevier, Lake, Utah. I had just sold a previous business, but that was the risk we took. We spent 3 years approximately and several $1 million just to be part of the process, and then we had to go in and actually bid in a sealed bid environment, and they opened up the envelopes, and that was it. And so they opened them up, read the dollar amounts and the winners, and we're the fortunate group that's on the lake.
Did you leave more than $25 on the table?
I think we did.
Oh, okay. Stay with us. We'll be back with more of the county seat. We'll wrap up our conversation on the development of potash out in Millard County, and we'll see you after the commercial break.
Take a look. Take a glimpse. Take a peek. You'll be surprised by what you find. Check us out at DeseretPComplex.com. Our phone number is 435-843-4020. Adventure, beauty, excitement. Tooele County Parks and Recreation, bringing communities together.
What do you picture when you hear Rich County, Utah? Bear Lake Adventure? Snowmobile action? Pristine skiing? Spectacular solitude? Well, if that isn't what first came to mind, then you just don't know Rich County. The Bear Lake Monster Polar Plunge, snowmobiling Monte Cristo, ice fishing Bear Lake, skiing the backcountry, fishing at the Cisco Disco. Come and find out what you never knew you were missing. Rich County, Utah.
What is play? Is it culture? Is it adventure? Is it...
Ooh, it's a destination.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's correct.
Cedar City and Bryan Head Resort in the heart of Iron County, where outdoor excitement, culture, and the iron industry melts together. Come and forge a new adventure where play is the thing. You haven't forgotten how to play. It's just that you haven't been to the right place yet.
Almost 45% of the oil produced in Utah, 7.8 million barrels, comes from Duchesne County. That oil feeds our state economy, provides job growth, and supports local business. Here in Duchesne County, we're working to make Utah an economic, cultural, and technological leader. Whether you're here for business or pleasure, Duchesne County will welcome you with open arms and invite you to explore all the beauty of the Uinta Mountains. Duchesne County, close enough for business, far enough to get away.